Hey YouTube, I just wanted to give you my impressions about the Behringer B1C since I purchased that 2 weeks ago and before I didn't find any kind of review or comparison on YouTube. So I just wanted to share my personal impressions about that speaker to you guys. Just to say, I'm not a technician or sound engineer, I'm just a guy who's interested in PA systems or hi-fi speakers, and I listen to well-recorded music with my friends, also outside, and yeah, so this is not going to be a proper review. For this, I guess that there's a need of proper measurements and comparison to other systems like the Bose L1, the Alta Busker, etc. Also not giving sound samples because that's not giving a proper impression about the sound quality of the speaker, since everybody's using different listening devices and I also have no proper mic and so on. Yeah, recording actually everything with the iPhone, so yeah, sorry for the bad sound quality. Like with every other speaker, the performance is also highly depending on the environment, the soundings, and the surroundings and the location of the speaker, indoors or outdoors. So that's why I'm not giving you any kind of video or samples about the performance of this speaker. So what is the speaker good for? Yeah, with the built-in battery and small dimensions, the speaker is designed for people performing the music live on the street, such as buskers, etc., or also for small PA operations, such as background music. Also, speech could be a reason to buy this speaker. The speaker was introduced in 2024 together with the still being the B1X, which provides another loudspeaker setup, also another DSP setup, bigger battery, and in general more power. I'm not going into the specs of the speaker since they are available on the homepage of Behringer itself, or also at the homepage of Thomann, where I bought the speaker. So if you want to have the full information, I'm gonna also put the specs into the description of this video, but if you want to get deeper inside the specs, you just visit the official homepage of Behringer or Thomann. Yeah, to talk about the speaker itself, I'm gonna start with the housing and the build quality. In general, the build quality of the housing itself is convincing considering the price for that speaker. For sure, it's made of plastic, there's no wood involved, but the plastic with the perforated metal sheet in the front to protect the speaker, making good performance in this kind of way. The speaker itself, you can place it on a stand, you can place it just like this. There's a mounting for a pole on the bottom of the speaker. You could also use it as a monitor sideways with an angle of 45 degrees on the ground, so it would function as a monitor speaker. The only real concern I have about the build quality itself is the small knobs, the control knobs on the back of the speaker. They are a bit wobbly, and I have doubts that they're going to resist a small collision with another object, which is likely to happen on the road when you use the speaker outside. So this is the only downside when it comes down to the build quality. In my opinion, the knobs, the control unit at the back is a bit fragile, and you really have to take care not to crash something. So that's the only concern I have. But beside this, the speaker for this kind of money, this amount of money, is really well produced, and there's no concerns. So finally coming to the most important point, the sound. So if it comes down to the sound, I would describe it as warm, going more into the direction of hi-fi than BA. A similar experience I had already with the Electro-Royce ZLX 12-inch powered speakers. For my use of listening to music out of the box via Bluetooth, it's doing the job good, but people who are searching for linear or neutral sound should maybe go for another system. I personally feed the speaker via Bluetooth and also via the cable to the XLR ports, line-ins. The XLR line-ins have an EQ and reverb. The Bluetooth input unfortunately does not allow any adjustment at the speaker itself, so here Behringer is relying on the fact that the most portable devices have a built-in equalizer. The genre which are working the best are acoustic songs, also in general music without a lot of deep frequencies. For electronic music, for instance, there is an subwoofer support needed, since the speaker has just a 6.5-inch built-in woofer, which is responding up to 3 kHz. So I do not know what kind of driver is used for the woofer, if it's a neodymium or if it's just a ferrite one, but I think in this price range I'm expecting a normal ferrite driver. Since I'm still in the rarity period, I'm not going to open the speaker for sure. The tweeter is also doing the job quite well by pushing the speaker to the limits. I didn't have the impression the tweeter is screaming or distorting that much. It's more that the woofer reaching its limits quite fast and the whole housing starts to get noisy. For the size, I'm quite happy with the performance, and for my use, it's doing the job great. For the moment, I mainly use it to listen to music while I'm working in the workshop, but in the future I was also thinking about getting a second speaker and a battery-powered subwoofer to listen music outdoors with some friends in the nature. A negative point for me is the all-present background noise. You have to be really conscious about that while listening in a lower volume level. This is important to know if you are thinking about using the speaker, for example, at home in a calm environment. The DSP is cutting the noise when there's no signal at all, but there is a lower signal incoming via Bluetooth or line in. The noise is clearly recognizable. So there's a lot of lower budget PA systems which have this issue. I think it's part of the game at the end, but it's good to know. I think a lot of people are also interested in the battery life. That's an important point, since it's a battery-powered speaker. The performance of the battery is not exceptional good. If you're listening to electronic music without the reduction of the deep frequencies, or if you're listening on a higher volume level in general, the speaker will quit battery-powered operation after 3 or 4 hours. In my case, it was like this. With acoustic music from this, for example, 60s, 70s, like Beatles, Crosby, Still, Nash, Young, and all this stuff, I was able to listen with the speaker up to 8 hours on a higher level also, since there are not that much energy-consuming frequencies in the songs. If you are a street musician and you want to play for a longer time outside, you should definitely think about an external power backup, or invest more to go for example, the Bose L1 with exchangeable batteries, or you also have to think about another battery solution to feed the battery with external power when you are on the streets. Yeah, just to sum it up in the end, I can really recommend the speaker and its sound in general for this price. It's interesting for people who are in need for speakers with like a mid-volume music playback or just speech. For this, it could be a nice deal. In this price range, you should not definitely expect a professional system for everyday use in a professional environment. For the use every now and then in a non-professional environment, it should do the job fine, in my opinion. For electronic music, as I mentioned before, an external sub is really needed for the lower frequencies and to give the speaker a bit more punch, or the sound a bit more punch. This is not something you have to expect from a 6.5 woofer of this Behringer B1C. This is really not working. So if you really want to have more punch and higher volumes, I really recommend to use the system with a external subwoofer. Also, like I mentioned before, really important for the street musicians who want to play for longer time. You really have to think about an external power source, an external battery, or like I said before, just check out other alternatives to this system, like Alto, Bose. They also have speakers, especially the Bose. I think it's really important, or like say interesting for the people who have longer sessions, because you can exchange the battery pack, and this is something really really important. Questions, just comment them, and I try to answer them as good as possible. Thank you very much, and see you soon.